Presence, belief, talking to the stars, and Ask Barb coming up on helpmysquashgame.com. Hi, this is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, and today I want to talk about presence. And I'm not talking about birthday presents. I'm talking about your physical and mental presence on the court. And you know, when I talk about physical presence, I'm thinking about how you actually stand, your posture on the court, how you play your opponent. And I'm not talking about getting in their face and bullying them. Squash is a non-contact sport. But I am talking about having that belief, because in squash, always you're going to try and make your opponent go past you to go and get the next shot. So they're going to experience you on the court, and they should experience you as something that is strong, confident, and ready to win. Now, the question is, how are you going to do that? Take a look at these two players. Just look at their body language. Tell me which one you think is winning and which one you think is losing. So here you have two Canadian players playing in a national competition. Tara Mullins and Carolyn Russell. Both played on the circuit. And both of them, you can see their body language doesn't really indicate who's winning and losing. Even when a call goes against her, Tara just accepts it and goes on. Even with a hard-fought game like that, there's just carry on. This is presence on court. This is how you deal with mistakes. And pros have learned to be much more calm and even-tempered about what's going on the court. Did you see that there? So clearly, the person who's got that posture, that stance, that's the person who's got more self-belief. Now, how are we going to create that? Let's talk about self-belief for a minute. Self-belief does not mean that you never make a mistake. It's actually that you learn from your mistakes and that you expect to make mistakes. Most of the time, the people who are terrified of making mistakes have the least amount of self-confidence. Sounds crazy, isn't it? But it's true. If you're protecting yourself the whole time from looking foolish, from hitting the tin, from hitting the ball out of court, believe it or not, you are the least confident. So now let's examine what tragedy is going to happen to you if you hit the ball out of court. So I'd like you to go and do it. Yes, again and again and again. And you'll suddenly find, oh my God, you're still the same person. It's okay. So hitting the ball out of court has got nothing to do with who you are as a human being. What you need to do is learn how to hit the ball close to going out of court. Because truthfully, in a game of squash, as you get better, if you are not aiming to hit your drop shots close to the tin, they are not going to be low enough. If you're not aiming your lobs to go close to the ceiling, they are not high enough. And you've got to get really comfortable with teetering close to that edge all of the time, but being okay with sometimes being a little bit too far one way and sometimes a little too far the other way. That's going to build self-belief. Right? Have confidence that you will learn That's what I'm asking you to do on the squash court. And then stand tall and make sure that your opponent knows you're playing them. Not bullying them, you're playing them. And now, talking to the stars. And I had so much fun with this interview with Heba El Torky. She's 33 in the world, comes from Egypt. And when I asked her why squash, you have to just listen to the answer. So Heba, here all the way from Egypt. And the question I have is, what got you into this game?
I actually didn't like squash when I was young, because I had pressure to play like I was a fat player, like I was a fat kid, and I wanted to lose weight, so I had to run, and it's a very good sport to lose weight. And
that's a funny start.
Yeah.
So it was your folks who tried to get you in to play squash to lose weight?
My father wanted me to be in sports. He used to play tennis for fun, and he didn't want us to be burned out from the sun, so we played squash.
Well, truthfully, squash is a great game for Canada because of the winters, right?
Yeah, and you always you can always play squash all over throughout the year. So it's like when it's raining outside, when it's very hot, you can always go in the squash court and hit the ball. So.
Absolutely. And so when you were a kid, you didn't have fun to start with, but you started to have fun what changed that? What was the thing that made it fun for you?
Competing, traveling all over the world, meeting new people. It's so much fun. Being like yesterday, I was down 10-6 match ball, so much pressure, and then I won. It's like it defines your personality, and I don't know. It's a very good sport. Well,
certainly they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So well done for that match yesterday. You showed real guts, and we will enjoy following your career as it gets better and better. Thanks for spending time with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks.
And now it's time for Ask Barb. And I've had so many members and viewers asking me how to train to get good in the crunch points. And this is what I would do. Play lots of mini games. Best 2 out of 3. Get used to playing those vital points. Pretend to yourself it's match point. Start telling yourself that you are good in these situations. Remind yourself that this is when you love playing. You know, they say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You need to get used to that sort of idea and play game after game after game after game. You don't have to tell your opponent what you're doing. But if you get used to those situations and you convince yourself that you are good in those situations and you win most of those points, you know the funny thing is with belief, you're always right. If you believe you're going to win, often you will. And if you believe you're going to lose, I can guarantee you will. Belief will take you there. So I would practice it and practice that confidence that you know in those tight situations, you're the best player on the court. This is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, signing off.